Greetings, the Astro 30 here yet again, and welcome back to AEL. Thank you for joining me. Well, today on the desk here I've got another box of PCBs to assemble, and the video that I'm going to be doing today is on getting a plus minus 15 volt supply rail from a higher powered supply, like say plus minus 50 volts, plus minus 60, something like that. So we can get a regulated power supply for a preamp off of a, say, main power transformer in a power amplifier. So I'll discuss that a little bit more when we look at the schematic, but first let's get the box of PCBs open and we'll get the PCBs out. There they are there, complete with a silica gel throwaway do not eat. I find that kind of highly amusing. But yeah, they were just put into like a vacuum sealed bag here, not the bubble wrap they normally put them in. And these are single-sided PCBs. So let me get one out so we can have a better look at it. So there it is there. Now I'm using the terminal headers, the screw ones PCB mount that I hate, but they're functional. There was debate on another video of me using the Australian made logo, which I tend to agree with. It could end up causing me legal issues for using it. So I've stopped using it now just to protect myself, and I've changed the idea because I wanted to denote that the PCBs are made in Australia. Well, designed in Australia, not made in Australia, because obviously this is made in China. I'll just use a picture of Australia with its flag on it. Just a simple logo created in a photo editor. So that aside, this is our PCB. On the underside, it's got a copper fill all the way around, which is our ground. And yeah, basically that's it. And it uses 7815 and 7915 regulators respectively. But you can't use the 78 and the 79 series regulators on any voltage supply higher than 35 volts, or you'll destroy the regulator. You could use the LM317 and the 337 respectively, but again they have an input voltage of a maximum of 40 volts. So again you can't use it on a plus minus 50 volt supply. Now, one way you could get around that is, and what a lot of professional amplifier manufacturers do, is they use a separate smaller transformer, say a 15015, secondary windings of 50 VA, and said regulators to give a regulated power supply, which is fine if you've got space in the cabinet to include a secondary transformer. But if you've only got enough space for a small board like this, well, you're going to have to get creative. So let's look at the schematic to this, and I'll explain what it is that we're doing to actually get from, say, plus minus 56 volts max down to plus minus 15. And here's the schematic here. So this is symmetrical to this one up here. So we'll only look at the top half between ground and plus 15 because the lower half is exactly the same. It's just dealing with the negative side of the power rail. So we come in from the plus minus 50 volt rail here, or plus 50 volt rail here, through a small smoothing capacitor, 63 volt rated cap, and we come into this common series pass regulator circuit. So we've got R1, which is a 4K7, and D1, which is a 27 volt Zener, and I'll explain why it's 27 volts in a minute, and a series pass element, which is a TIP41C. So this is a voltage follower, so whatever voltage we apply at the base is the voltage we get roughly at the emitter. So with our 27 volt Zener diode down here at the base, well, we're applying 27 volts to the base, so technically speaking we would have 27 volts coming out of the emitter. And because we've got two regulators, a 7815 here, as well as this series pass regulator, this first one is what's known as a pre-regulator. Now, because the input voltage of your standard 7879 series is 35 volts, well, having 27 volts here brings it up close to its maximum input but gives it a little bit of headroom, but it also reduces the amount of dissipation in the transistor itself because it has to drop the higher supply voltage a lot less. So if we were to just use the pre-regulator on its own with a 15 volt Zener, well, this transistor is going to have to drop the voltage a considerable amount, and that will lead to more dissipation, making the transistor get hotter. So the closer we can get this pre-regulator to input voltage, the better for the transistor and also for the regulator. We don't want to go too close to the maximum. 33 volt would probably be the max, but I chose 27 volts because it's a good safety margin. And the second regulator here, the 7815, what that does is it reduces the amount of noise and ripple that may be apparent on the input here. So we get a nice low noise, clean regulated plus 15 minus 15 volt output. Using the pre-regulator on its own, this Zener diode does generate noise, which the transistor will happily amplify. So the output voltage here is not exactly clean for all intents and purposes. It's also not very well regulated because the more current you draw, the voltage is going to decrease because there's no error amplification. This is the reason why I'm using the pre-regulator and then finally a dedicated linear regulator so that the voltage is stable here on the output and the noise is low. Could we have just gotten away with a simple resistor and Zener diode and take the output at the junction here to here? Well, yeah, we could, but these regulators are rated for an amp. And the more current that gets drawn here on the output, this Zener diode is just not going to be able to deliver it at the input. So as more current above, say, 60 milliamps, I think it is, the more current that gets drawn on this Zener, the voltage starts to drop off quite rapidly, making it for all intents and purposes useless, hence why it's in a series pass arrangement. So the transistor is dealing with the current and the Zener diode is just providing a voltage reference. And that's basically it. The other side works exactly the same way, just for the negative voltage. So let's get back to the PCB. Okay, so that's the schematic. It's fairly straightforward. There's not much more to talk about with it. I've got a bag of parts here to assemble onto this PCB. And I've done the one thing I shouldn't do, and I've broken my own rule, is I've routed a PCB before I've actually physically tested the circuit works. Not a good idea. However, I did simulate the circuit in Tina and the results seem promising. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount this into something to hold it, and then I will assemble the PCB here. And I'll do it in time lapse. It won't take me long, probably about 10-20 minutes. I did make space here for 5-watt resistors. They should fit in there just fine. I've got all the capacitors I need. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get assembling this. Alright, and about 17 odd minutes later it's assembled, and with populated it looks quite nice. I've made sure that I've put the correct device in the correct place. There's nothing worse than having it incorrect. That transistor's a little bit so I might just run the iron across the pins here and just try and straighten it if I can. There we go. Now I've got a short. There we go. That's a bit straighter. So that's perfectly fine. So just see if that's trimmed enough. Okay, so what I need to do now is I need to put this on the bench supply, which is only capable of plus minus 30 volts, so it kind of makes the pre-regulators pointless. But I just want to see if it works. So I'll supply an input here, and we'll measure at the output here and see what we get. But first I'm going to put it into put some standoffs on this so it's off the desk. Alright, I've got my bench supply set to about 30 volts. I'll just change the top one so it is 30 volts. And I've got current limiting set to 200 mA, so that should be fine. I'm actually waiting on another WAMP Tech power supply, 30 volt, 5 amp in the post, but it hasn't arrived yet, and it's been 2 weeks. Something to do with the China Boat Festival causing delays. Anyway, that's what you get. So currently the supplies are switched off, so we should have absolutely no voltage, which we don't. So I'm going to turn the supplies on, and hopefully nothing goes off with a bang or smokes or whatever. If it does, it's captured on camera. I'll keep an eye on the current as I turn it on. So 3, 2, 1. Now full current draw, probably about 2 mA at the end of the day. So we should have 30 volts coming in here, which we do, and minus 30 volts there, which we do. At the output we should have 15, which we do, and minus 15. Well, we don't. That is an interesting problem, because it shouldn't be 17 volts. All right. So that's interesting. So I'll just double check what the Zener is dropping down to, which is 26 volts, which is correct. So that's the 26 volts going into the regulator, and that should be ground. Maybe the pin out on the PCB to that is wrong. It shouldn't be. I used the correct part. Okay, so I'm going to turn it off. Nothing's getting hot, by the way, so that's fine. The 100 microfarad capacitor that's before the regulator is rated at 35 volt, and the one at the output is rated at 25. So because we've got 17 there, it's not going to kill the capacitor. But yeah, it's not producing minus 15 volts, which is kind of annoying. So let me just do some investigation here and see what I come up with. Well, I looked at various different data sheets, and there's a bit of conflicting information here. This is an L7915CV. Now, some versions of that, pins 2 and 3, which is the input and the output respectively, are switched around. The current one I was working on was the same as the LM7915, which is pin 3 is the output and pin 2 is the input. However, on some schematics I see the L7915 with pin 3 as the input over here and pin 2 as the output. So which one is this? Well, the only way I'm going to find that out is to pull this off the circuit board now and actually put some small little bit of wire on the ends of the pins here just to make it easier to plug into a breadboard, and I will inject a voltage into it and we'll see if switching the two pins around makes a difference. If it does, that means that this is the wrong part for this particular footprint design that I've got here. It needs to be an LM7915, not an L7915. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's pull this out, and I will just double check on breadboard whether reversing pins 2 and 3 around make a difference. If it doesn't, we've probably got a dud regulator. Alright, I've got a simple test circuit hooked up here. The negative regulator is sitting in this Arduino style breadboard thing here. Pin 1, no matter what data sheet you look at, is always the ground one on the negative regulator. So I've got the negative probe of my multimeter connected to pin 1, the positive input lead from my power supply going to pin 1, so it's reverse polarity because that's going to be now regulating the negative side, which is the green wire here on pin 2, which is the input. So if I apply the output, well, it's now saying it's 15 volts. Well, that's interesting. I've got the supply set at 20 volts, so if I start increasing the supply voltage to 30, we're up to 27 volts input, and now we're at 18 out. And I drop it back down to say 24 volts and it regulates properly. And if I go to 18 volts, yeah, it seems to be still stable. Go back up to 20, it's come up a little bit. 21, it's going up. 22, went back down a bit. 23, went down to minus 15 and some change. 24, came up a bit more. 25, now it's 16. 26, it goes to shit. So I'm thinking that maybe this device does not actually function correctly. So I will turn the supply back off, and that's just the filter capacitor in the power supply discharging. So if it was the other way around, pin 3 would be the input and pin 2 would be the output. So I'll just swap these leads around just to confirm that it's not that configuration. It shouldn't hurt the regulator, it's current limited anyway. Turn the output on. At 20 volts we've got minus 19 out, so no, the pin out is not wrong. I think the device is damaged, which is kind of a shame because it was brand new. So yeah, that's a shame. It is in the board correctly. It's not getting hot or anything. So that was a shame. I was hoping this would work first time, but apparently it's not to be the case. But with a new regulator, it'll probably be fine. All I was doing was proving that the concept worked. And yes, the negative side regulator, pre-regulator, is working fine. It's just the 7915, for whatever reason, isn't functioning. So I'm going to pretty much leave this video here, and you guys know what to do if you enjoyed it. So anyway, I might pick this up again at another date, but for now, catch you next time. I'm the Astro 30, and if you enjoyed this video, please remember to go down below, like, comment and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And as always, this is the Astro 30 saying see ya, thanks for watching, have a great day.